start on our knees. And if that is uncomfortable for you, so I hurt my knee recently, so if it's uncomfortable for you, you can always start in a comfortable seated position, and that might be just cross-legged. But I would recommend today, okay, buddy, I would recommend just coming down onto the shins. The feet are going to be flat onto the floor, and then ground the sit bones right over the ankles and feel the shoulders right over the hips. And then you'll tuck your chin slightly, but bring the ears right over the shoulders. Palms are going to be face down on the thighs. When you're ready, go ahead and close the eyes, and you'll seal the lips as well, and bring all of your awareness to your breath, breathing in and out of the nose. So you don't need to do anything fancy with the breath. What I want you to do right now, though, is notice what is going on in the body. Start at the very top of the head. Notice, are you clenching the jaw? Are you able to let the thoughts move through the mind freely, or are you fixated on one particular thought? Now, as you continue to scan down the body, just noticing, are you holding your breath? Are you able to breathe deeply and clearly? And then as you move down right into the core. Are you able to keep the core engaged to lift the spine? Are you slumping in your seat? And can you let go completely through the tailbone so that the hips can ground into the heels? So just be mindfully aware with your breath, noticing what's going on in the body today. Take one more breath here, but relax. See if you can soften into this pose. And then with the eyes closed, bring the hands together in front of the heart. So you always want to start your morning, your day, with an intention, thinking about how you would like to guide and direct your life. If we set our intention, it's much easier to accomplish that goal. So think about today, Sunday. Maybe you're spending a little bit more time all together, more time together than you have been. Maybe you want to spend time by yourself. Whatever you are choosing for your day, think about how you want your day to go. Imagine feeling happy, feeling free. And whatever key words come to you, think about and integrate those into the body, putting a smile on your face. Take one more full breath. And then you'll blink the eyes open if they're not open. And then come forward, tuck all of the toes under, and then you'll sit back onto the heels. So maybe we've just woken up, we haven't moved around too much, so we want to stretch the bottoms of the feet. The feet are the foundation of our body, so if we start there and start working our way up, we're going to wake the body up systematically. So pause here, you can close the eyes, feel the spine resting on the sit bones. Take another full breath here. Maybe pull the shoulder blades together behind the back and lift a little bit higher through the center of the chest. One more full round of breath. And then let's come forward onto the hands and knees, and you'll make a table pose. So have the shoulders right over the wrists and the knees right underneath the hips. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and again, rotate all of the weight in between the pointer finger and thumb. Even though you're pressing the earth away, feel that rotation, almost like you're trying to screw the palms down into the floor. As you press the floor away, feel a slight spread between the shoulder blades, and then the ears are staying in line with the shoulders. Reach the head forward and reach the booty back as far to the back of the room as possible. And then with this engagement of the body, just wag the hips. I like to think about making U shapes with the body. Be really gentle here. Notice the spine, the low back, the shoulders. And then you can move a little bit faster, maybe even gazing towards the feet. Take one more full round of breath. And then pause here. Keep pressing the earth away with the palms. I want you to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Rock forward and backwards. Open up through the calf. Feel the top of the quad. Open up through the hamstring and the glutes. And then you can flip to the toes, put the toes onto the floor and press the top of the foot into the floor. And then you'll get into the top of the foot, the shin, the calf as well. And then once you finish that, take a full breath, pause here, lift the right ankle in line with the right knee and flex the foot. Reach the foot as far back to the back of the room as possible. Press the earth away. Take a big, deep breath in. When you exhale, you're going to round the back and bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale to lengthen, reach the toes or the heel back. Toes are hovering off the earth. Exhale to round, bring the knee again towards the nose. One more time. Inhale to lengthen the right heel back. Exhale to round, knee comes towards the nose. Release the right knee back to the floor. Now step the left foot to the back of the mat, and you'll start with the ball of the left foot, rocking and rolling on the ball. Feel the calf, the hamstring, and the quad here as you press the ball of the foot into the floor. And then make sure to get to the top of the foot. Point the toes, feel the shin and the knee and the quad here. Keep pressing the earth away. Flex the foot and hover the toes once again. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward and the heel as far to the back of the room as possible. Take a big, deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to round the back, bring the knee to the nose on this side. Inhale to lengthen, heel reaches back, crown reaches forward. Exhale to round, bring the knee to the nose. One more time. Inhale, find length, heel back, crown forward. Exhale to round. Release the left knee. Sit back onto the heels once again, and then just shake out the wrists. Get some blood flow. Can even interlace the hands, get some blood going. Take one more breath here. And then come back into that table pose. Spread the palms nice and wide. You're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips coming into downward facing dog. So before you do that, think about the body looking like an upside down V. The tailbone is going to point straight to the ceiling. And I'll show you from the side what that should look like. So as you lift the sit bones up high, press the floor down and away. Bring the heart closer to the top of the thighs. Take a big, deep, full breath here. And then pause to settle. Keep pressing the floor forward. Reach the tailbone up to the ceiling. Feel the heart come closer to the top of the thighs. Take a full cycle of breath. And then look forward. Bend the knees, begin to walk the hands now to the top of the mat. You're going to come to the top of the mat, bring the arms together, come into a forward fold. As you bring the heart closer to the tops of the thighs, roll the weight into the toes, and then this will point the tailbone up to the ceiling a little bit higher. You can put a bend in the knees if the low back is sore to start. You can sway from side to side, but keep the feet rooted into the floor. Take one more breath here. Release the fingers down to the floor. On your inhale, come up halfway. Bring the hands to the shins. Shoulders reach back. The chin is tucked so that the crown of the head is reaching forward and the ears are in line with the shoulders. So reach the head forward. And then as you exhale, bring the navel to the spine and forward, fold back over the thighs. One more time, inhale with a flat back. Hands come to the shins. Reach the heart forward. Exhale to forward fold. Navel comes to the spine. Bend the knees. Bring the arms out to a T. Use your inhale to rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands down to the heart and close the eyes. Pause here for a moment. Feel the thumbs connecting to the heart. Root the feet into the floor. Lift up through the crown of the head. Tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. Take 2 breaths here. And keep the eyes closed. I want you to feel what is going on in the body. Are you grounding into the floor? Are you engaged into the body? Are you practicing presence by using all of your breath to be in this moment? Keep the lips sealed. Take 1 more breath here. Blink the eyes open. Bring the hands now to the hips. You're going to bring the weight into the right foot. Bring the heel to the left foot. So we practiced this earlier in the week, tree pose. So you can start with a kickstand. If you want to come right into the pose, you're going to bring the left heel above or below the knee joint. You just don't want it on the knee joint itself because that will, over time, hurt the knee. So above or below the knee joint. And when you find that spot, you're going to press the foot into the thigh and the thigh back into the foot at the same time. So don't just press the foot there, also press the thigh. Keep rooting into the right leg. And then remember to point that knee towards the top of the mat if you're on a mat. Hands can start at the hips. Lift through the center of the chest. Smile. Find something to look at that's not moving. So now don't look at me. Find something on the floor or on the wall. Find your balance. Take 2 breaths here in your tree pose. Soften the shoulders down the back. Keep the core engaged. Take 1 more cycle. And then very gently, keep balanced on the right foot. Bring the left knee in line with the left hip. Pause here, hands come to the heart. Keep rooting into the right leg. Lift through the crown of the head. Take 1 more breath in. And then you'll release the left foot down. Notice now all of that stability that you have brought into the right leg. Maybe the right leg feels a lot firmer and stronger. Now bring the weight into the left leg. Start with a kickstand with the left or with the right foot onto the ankle on the left ankle. And then you can bring the foot above or below the left knee. Point the right knee towards the right corner of the mat. Hands can start at the hips. Press the thigh into the foot just as equally as you're pressing the foot into the thigh. And then pause here, open up through the heart. Hands can come to the heart, or maybe now you extend them up to the ceiling. Soften the shoulders down the back. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. Find your drishti. Keep the core working. Take 1 more cycle balancing. And then before you release the right foot, you're going to bring the hands to the heart. Keep balanced on the left leg. Bring the right knee in line with the right hip. Keep the foot flexed. Ground into the left leg. Take 1 more breath in. And then you'll exhale to release the right foot down. Close the eyes. Now notice the balance that you brought into both sides of the body. Take 1 more cycle of breath here. Blink the eyes open. Hands come to the hips. You're going to step the left foot to the very back of the mat. Have the back heel in line with the front heel, and the toes are going to be slightly pointed to the left corner of the mat, top left corner of the mat. Bend into the front knee, and then you're going to open the heart up to the wide side of the mat. Arms come out to a T for warrior two. As you scoop the left sit bone underneath the hip, that's going to help point the right knee over the middle toe. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Look back at the back arm and make sure that the back arm is coming out of the body straight. And then the gaze now is going to be over the front middle finger. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Sink a little bit deeper into that front knee, but don't let the knee go past the ankle. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. Keep the lips sealed. Grow tall through the spine. Notice where you want to be right now. Do you want to come out of the pose? Can you sink a little bit deeper? And then you'll stay here with the legs. Flip the front palm. Take a big inhale to reverse your warrior. Keep a bend in the front knee, but bring the left hand down the back thigh. Gaze into the front palm. Take a big cycle of breath here, but soften through the right shoulder. Open up through the right side of the torso. 1 more full breath. Inhale to come back into your warrior two. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Straighten through the front leg. Keep the front leg straight, but don't hyperextend through the knee. So you might need to put a slight, tiny little bend in the knee so it doesn't lock out. And then grow tall through the spine. Arms are still out to a T. You're going to hinge forward. And then as you exhale, very gently and lightly, bring the right hand down to the right shin. Left hand can extend straight to the ceiling, or if that's too much, bring it to the left hip. And then the gaze is going to be towards the wide side of the mat. You can look straight, or you can look down to the floor at the foot. Wherever you are, feel the right ribs, the bottom ribs, rotating towards the right side, or towards the wide side of your mat. Take another full breath here to pause. One more cycle to settle. And then you'll bring the gaze down to the floor. Put a bend in the front knee. Inhale to come back into warrior two. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Pause here. Straighten now through the front leg once again. And then you're going to rotate the right foot towards the wide side of the mat so that the feet are parallel to the short sides of the mat. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And when you exhale, you're going to hinge forward all the way down. Very gently come down. Hands come right underneath the shoulders. Roll the weight into the toes and then bring the heart all the way down. Bring the hands in line with the feet if that's accessible, or you can hold on to the ankles. Feel the feet pressing through the outer edges of the pinky side toe, so then that way you're not dumping the weight to the inner ankle. And then once you find that sweet spot, let go in the neck and the head. Maybe tuck the chin. And then again, feel the weight rolling into the toes. Bring your heart a little bit closer to the thighs. 2 more breaths. Take 1 more big breath in. Soften the shoulders away from the back of the head. And then bring the hands now to the hips. With a flat back, keep the chin tucked. Inhale to come all the way up. Pause here when you get upright. Take a breath in and a breath out. Rotate to the front of the mat. Step the back foot to the front. Come into mountain pose, standing at the front of the mat. Hands can be at the hips or to the sides of the body. Close the eyes here. And again, be mindful of your awareness. Can you tune into the body and feel the imbalance that we have created? but can you also tune into the body and notice the presence that you are creating? Being mindful with the breath, taking the time to take care of your body and move. Take one more full breath. Blink the eyes open. Hands come back to the hips. This time we're going to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Rotate the heel down and then look to make sure that you have a front heel with the left heel and intersect with the back foot, either the heel or the arch. And then the right toes are going to be pointed slightly to the front, so kind of towards the right corner of a mat if you were on a mat. And then sink into the front knee. Turn the torso now to open the chest to the wide side of the mat. Open up the arms. Make sure that that knee is pointing towards the middle toe. Look back at the back arm. Make sure that the back arm is coming out of the body straight. And then you'll seal the outer edge of the right foot to the mat. Sink into the front knee. Gaze over the front middle finger. Take 2 deep breaths here, coming into your pose. Take one more breath in and a full breath out. Stay here with the front leg. Flip the left hand. Take a big inhale to reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down the back thigh. Gaze into the left palm. Soften through the left shoulder. Open up now through the left side of the torso. Take a full cycle of breath here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And then your inhale will bring you back into your warrior two. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Straighten through the front leg, but make sure not to hyperextend through the left knee. Use your next inhale to hinge forward. Very gently use the exhale to bring the left hand down to the left shin. Right hand can be at the right hip or extend straight to the ceiling. Press into both feet evenly. Do not dump the weight into the left palm. You're still using the core to keep you upright. Gaze straight or down at the foot on the floor. Once you find your sweet spot, take a few breaths here in stillness, keeping the lips sealed, keeping your focus directed inward. Take one more breath. And then look down at the floor, put a bend back in the front knee, come up into warrior two, straightening the arms. Hands come to the hips, straighten back through the left leg and pivot to where the left foot now is parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Inhale to lift up through the spine. As you exhale, you're going to hinge forward, all the way forward. Hands come right underneath the shoulders, and then you can begin to walk the hands in line with the feet. You can even widen the feet for a wider stance. Reach the heart forward, and then you can exhale to hinge all the way down. Feel the outer edges of the feet sealed to the mat. Roll the weight into the toes, and then bring the heart a little bit closer to the tops of the thighs. Take 2 more breaths here. Feel the backs of the shoulders move away from the back of the head. The chin is slightly tucked as well. One more cycle. Bring the hands now to the hips. With a flat back, keep the chin tucked. As you inhale, come all the way up. Pause when you come upright. Take a big full breath in and a full breath out. Rotate and pivot now to step to the front of the mat. Stand in mountain pose, hands to the sides of the body or at the hips. Close the eyes and notice now the balance that you have brought to the entire body. Soften the muscles in the face. Notice if you are squinting the eyes, even though they're closed. Can you relax the jaw? Keep rooting into the feet. Lift through the center of the heart. And take one more breath. And very gently, you're going to come all the way down to the floor. Find your comfortable seated position that we started in. So you can cross the legs, actually come into a seated position instead of on your knees. We'll have the legs crossed. And then close the eyes, have the hands palms down on the knees, and feel this grounding that you have created through the body. Feel the sit bones grounding into the floor, the heart lifting. Put a smile on your face for this time that you have dedicated to yourself. We could all be sleeping in, we could all be doing something different, but actually taking the time to be present for ourselves. It takes a lot of work some days to make that happen. Take one more breath. And then you'll blink the eyes open. Inhale to lift up out of the spine. And then as you exhale, twist towards the right knee. Bring the left hand on top of the right knee and the right hand behind the body. Inhale, and then use the exhale to twist and gaze over the right shoulder. You don't want to dump the weight into that back hand. You want to still lift through the heart, but use the back hand just as a balance. Close the eyes, soften through the shoulders, and then just let the body twist here naturally. One more full breath. Use the inhale to unwind, come back to center. Pause for your exhale. Take another breath in. And then use the exhale to twist now to the opposite side. Right hand comes on top of the left knee and use the back hand just to lift through the heart. Exhale to gaze over the back shoulder. Take one more full round of breath. Use your inhale to come back to center. Palms face up on the knees. This is to invite a little bit of inspiration and creativity into your day. Close the eyes, continue to lift through the center of the heart. And so as we take this moment to end our practice, coming into stillness, bring the hands together in front of the heart. And as we are mindful in this present moment, can we invite now kinder thoughts into our day? Kinder speak as we connect with one another, and kinder actions. So before you do something, think, is this going to be kind to myself? Is this going to be kind to someone else? Are my words going to be kind to myself? Are they going to be kind to someone else? Take a full cycle of breath. And then blink the eyes open. Namaste. And I thank you guys for sharing your practice with me.